We kick off this episode of Generation Artax with an homage to Paul Reubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, who was done dirty. Plus, K-pop, peer pressure, jury duty, catfishing, and the 1988 incident that haunts Kim to this day and what she left out of her journal. Plus, Terri doesn't waste lipstick and Kim slut shames Terri. Welcome to Generation Artax.
Are you ready for us? All right. Come on, Kim. I'm interviewing you. Everybody knows I am the star of this show. Have we see?
Well, I just watched the Pee Wee Herman documentary that you both watched.
So good.
It was so good.
Cannot believe how good it was. And I had just finished it now, and I didn't want to be crying when we started the episode, but I wanted to sob because I just feel like
Like
He
right
was
away.
wrong.
done dirty. He was done dirty.
He was done dirty over and over and over again.
It was
over again.
unbelievable. Like,
He's
And
he's a control freak. Sure. He's a freaking genius artist.
I think the thing that blew me away the most is that I was introduced to obviously Pee Wee Herman as a kid. In my mind, I also thought the movie came after the TV show.
Yeah,
I was-
I thought that too.
I was so convinced of that. Not true. Unless, like, did we not see the movie when it first came out? Is that why?
No. I think I know what happened. They said HBO wants X and X episodes. They did it and not streamed it, but you know what I mean. They did broadcast shows of it, which is how they decided to do the movie. But then the real Pee Wee's Playhouse show came up after, where they built it
I
on
see what
a
you're
set.
saying. Well, yes.
So they were showing the show. Like, we'd watched it there, but it wasn't the post-movie show, which had more money.
Hmm.
So the version
Okay.
we saw was like a real cheap, like the version
It
in the
was
beginning,
like
I was
a
like, I
janky
remember
version.
this. It was a jankier version.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
movie, and then the nicer version of the show. But yeah, there's a
Okay.
whole stream of, like, I was watching that and I was like, I remember every inflection of this.
Right.
We must have watched every episode of that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Every
did.
Saturday.
I loved it. And the Christmas special was so good. Like when it came up in the documentary, I was like, I love the Christmas special. Like I have
I
it
I don't
memorized.
think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen it.
I have it memorized.
And so I said this year, I'm making that my Christmas, like, I'm going to make sure I watch the Christmas special.
That's nice. In Pee Wee's honor.
But like he is so funny. Like Paul, he's
Yeah.
hilarious. I was like in exactly my kind of humor. Like I was laughing so hard. Like just listening. I was like, or I wasn't even. Sometimes I was just like entertained by him talking. I'm like, I just want to listen to him talk. Like just his little bits of just natural humor. I was like, I had no idea. You know?
He was
As-
it
yeah.
wasn't okay to be gay in the industry at the time.
He was completely, I mean, what I find fascinating about it is that he is not only a genius. This is a piece about art and character and how he spent, like, you see how he built that character. I didn't know any of that.
No.
Right.
No one did.
Which was
And he built
fascinating.
that character because he knew as a gay artist, he was
Mhm.
not going to get very far. So he did the thing that no one was doing then, which is create a character and never leave it. And
Yeah,
then he
hide
talks
in the
about how,
character.
but the struggle of he didn't get any credit. Pee Wee got the credit. So it's literally his alter ego. What does that do to your brain when
Right.
everyone knows it's you, but it's not really you? Because to be you is unsafe. So it's art as a kind of container for this person for whom the world wasn't safe. And we know it's not safe because the minute he was out, he was a target.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. But I know that he had to have been a great guy because I think the ultimate street cred is that he was really close personal friends with Conan O'Brien.
Right.
And
Which I
think
don't
that
feel like
is-
they didn't go
I think
into
that
that
is like
much.
the ultimate street cred. No, but Conan talked about him a lot on his podcast and like when he died and everything. And so I don't know. I'm like, he had to have been an amazing person because Conan O'Brien, he doesn't hang out with bad people. He's good through and through.
I mean, but he did have friends who really stuck by him. But even when I think about when the news broke of when he was arrested, and then when they're like, oh, there's child porn, back then, it just passed through the radar. But it's true. You only heard the headline. Oh, they found child
Right.
porn in his house. Like, you just assume that's a fact. And here's my question. And tell me, but we have to ask someone who would know the legalities of this. Of course, he did not it was never found that he had pictures of children. He is a collector of, yes, homoerotic art that was found in vintage like magazines and porn, which I'm assuming that the publisher who made the magazines made more than one copy of the issue. So why was he having to plead that he
Right.
possessed obscene material when someone else has the issues too? I just didn't get that.
Right.
Well,
It just seems so crazy. And he had to be like, yeah, I owned this magazine, so I guess I am in trouble now.
Well, just being a public figure and
And it-
you know, doing a show for kids. That was the
Right.
whole, yeah.
Exactly.
You're allowed
sorry.
to look at porn and then also have a job.
Well,
Yeah,
obviously,
well,
if you
The
are,
world
Not
looks at
then
porn.
if you were
if
going to
you're
be
a
a target.
character for, right.
Right, but they assume, but that's the dangerous link that people assumed always, and they make this very dangerous, toxic link between gay men and pedophiles, which of course
Yes.
It's
is
still
the
a
biggest
link
racket.
that people
It's
make.
anti-gay. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
for sure.
Listen, I told you, I wanted to say I auditioned. I didn't audition. I didn't try out. I was doing jury duty and I was trying to get this. I wanted to be on the jury.
Oh,
Did I not
right.
say this? I was
Pee-wee's
gunning for
jury?
it because I had the time. I got called in for jury duty. We just got called in. You guys are getting called in for a criminal case. We're like, wow, people are trying to get out of it. I have a work thing. I have this. And I was like, I'm free. There was a man who was being accused of sexually abusing a man who was at the time a young, like of maybe 14 or 15. Now he's a grown up, right? But this guy was being accused of being a pedophile. And I, of course, knowing nothing, was like, yeah, he probably did it. Like, what do I know? I was like, I don't know, but he looks like sketchy. I mean, like, what do we know?
Right.
So I decide I want this challenge. I'd like to be on this jury.
Mm.
So I tried for it. We had to sit in the box and answer questions. They asked me questions like, Mistress Fisher, like the lawyer's like, there was no DNA found at this as a result of this whole investigation. No DNA. Why do you think that is? My answer was because they didn't, the swab must have deteriorated or they just didn't get it. They didn't collect it correctly or it corroded over time. And then I wonder why I didn't get the gig. My friend goes, or he didn't do it? Like I didn't offer both. I go, oh, they just didn't get it.
Wow.
And they were like, cool, thank you. You're dismissed. Like you're obviously so, like I was talking. And then when they came to me, well, and they said, so I tried to get on and they were like, goodbye. They dismissed everyone but one person. Just we're all trouble. They don't want anyone biased. They could see I was gunning for this guy. Of course they don't want me there. My point is, they said, you all realize that there has been this, unhealthy association that this leap people make between gay men and pedophiles. Has anyone not heard of that before? And like one person was like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm like, whatever, shut the hell up. This is in the culture that people make these assumptions. And then he said, is there any one of you that wouldn't want a gay person babysitting your kid or babysitting for your family? And two people raised their hands.
Wow.
Two people, a man who made it very clear that he had been abused. So I guess he can't, trust anyone. And just an older white lady. She was like, I wouldn't want a gay babysitter. I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, what? We're in New York City in Manhattan. I just was like, how can this be? Even if you thought it, would you
man or
admit
woman?
that?
Yeah.
She said a
people
gay
do.
person.
They don't care.
I can't. Would you want a gay person? I was like, oh, so you think we'd all go after your kid? Like, I was so mad. We went to the bathroom and I didn't know. I was like, okay, now I've been dismissed. I was like, I'm going to start something with this lady. I wanted to be like, what are you thinking? Like, I was like, I would never have made it on the jury. I'd be picking fights with them. I was like, how dare you? No. So then I didn't get on. But here's my tip. If you want to get out of jury duty, stop giving excuses of why you can't. Tell them you really want it and you want it bad. Because I'm pretty sure I made it so clear that I wanted to be on there that they were like, you are not on here.
Yeah,
and I was
you were out to get, you wanted to take someone down.
I had blood in my mouth and I was like, I'm ready I want to do this. And
I have never been called.
I'll never get called on jury duty again.
Or you do what I did. Because I got called in and I didn't get picked either, but for different reasons. So it was a murder trial. The defendant is there and standing with his lawyer, right?
I remember this.
And I was there, I was like one of the last people to be interviewed. And they were being very clear. They're like, just so you know, or I came up and they're like, I was already crying. I don't know what was,
my God.
I was just like fully crying. And they're like, okay, so, you understand that if you got picked for this trial, there will be extremely graphic images of the bodies and, all this, that, and the other. Right. And I was just sobbing. And the guy's like standing behind me and I'm just sobbing. And they're like, why are you crying? I was like, I just feel so bad for the families. Like the mom of the defendant, the mom of the people who were murdered. It's just, they're all like.
Were you putting on an act?
No, I was very upset.
Meanwhile, you went home and you're like, let's watch CS.
Yeah, right. No, I was just I got
tears.
very, very upset. They're like, you should go. I wasn't trying to muster anything. It was very high pressure situation. And I was
Oh my
just,
God.
I don't know. I was very upset. He was like standing
Well, it's
behind
interesting.
me.
We talk about how judgy we were in our journals. We were so judgy of everybody, but we are not. None of us have been approved to judge anyone officially.
No, actively dismissed.
Yeah.
I was dismissed.
We're both
Yeah.
dismissed.
I
That's
wonder
But
if I
very,
would
very
make
different
it.
reasons.
Yeah.
I can't believe you've never been called. What is that about?
I've been
There
called.
was one time, and I was in school or something, so I sent it back and said, or no, I was living in California, and I was like, I'm temporarily living in
That
California,
was like
and then
40 years ago.
they gave up on
40.
me.
That's weird.
Okay, that they don't give up
Well,
on people.
yeah,
They come
like
back
20
again and
whatever.
again.
Why are you off the grid?
27 years ago. Yeah, no, I don't know, and then they never asked again.
7 years. I
don't
mean,
know.
I couldn't make one. I canceled it, and then I missed one, and then I kept putting it off. But like 10 years ago, I served on a grand jury. I had to go every day for a month, and I was working for myself. I was like, cool, I guess I won't make any money this month. It's terrible. I really hate the whole thing. I hate
Yeah.
the whole thing. But now
crazy.
I'll never go on again because I will not be neutral.
That's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, I am Team Pee Wee all the way.
Yeah.
And you know what, Pee Wee, we hardly knew thee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very sad. We didn't love him enough.
I wish we knew him better.
Well, his name isn't Pee
He was a
Wee.
national treasure. His
We
name
knew
is
Pee
Paul.
Wee. We did know.
We did know
correction,
Pee Wee.
We
We
knew
probably
Pee
knew
We did
Pee
not
Wee
know
as well as you
Paul.
can know Pee Wee. What's his
Paul.
name? Paul what?
Reubens.
Paul Reubens, right. We didn't know Paul Reubens.
What? Okay, so I'll talking about regrets in life.
Ooh, that's what we're talking about? Regrets in life?
I'm going to bring up a regret. An experience that haunted me for a long time. I don't even know if you
Okay.
guys know about it.
Oh my.
This was March 1st, 1988. It was a Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes, I was 11 and I was in 6th grade. This weekend, Sean, John, Jason, Brian, Amy, and Beth came over and we sat around. They also came over Sunday. Okay, so this is like a back-to-back weekend hangout. And we went to Prudential. So Prudential, the company, had a campus walking distance from us. It had lots of land and parking lots and a pond. Amy fell into the ice-covered pond and Jason tried to save her, but also fell in. They came back to my house and borrowed clothes. I can't believe that is all I wrote about that because this
It's like
experience.
my biggest fear.
So this is what happened. Yeah. So this is why it was a small pond. I was probably 4 feet deep, whatever. We all, I think the boys encouraged her we all kind of were standing on the ice and then we'd back off. They kind of, the boys kind of encouraged her, like, oh, go out to the middle. And I'm off on the side with the other girls kind of like giggly laughing. But in my mind, I'm like, this isn't a good idea. It was like a classic peer pressure situation, and I'm 11 years old and I'm like, whatever. And she's like, no. And they're like, keep going, just keep walking. So she walks out to the center and it's not a lake. It is a pond, but still.
Ponds can be
And then
big.
all of a sudden the ice starts to crack and she dropped down and they were bent over laughing so hard.
What?
It was, yeah, everybody was laughing. I was shocked and uncomfortable laughing. I remember being like, oh God, oh God. And then this guy, Jason, ran out and tried to grab her and then he fell in.
Is her
It's
head above
cold.
water?
It was. And she kept trying to get up and the ice kept breaking.
No.
It was February, it was freezing out. Like we all had coats on and she had jeans on and a coat. And he went in with his coat on and jeans and they could have walked out. You know what I mean? Like it really was shallow and not scary. But when you think about what it could have been, but everybody was bent over laughing. And I remember being like I didn't know what to do in the situation, but I was part scared, part getting caught up in the hysterical laughing of it, part like, oh my God. And they just kept trying to get out. And every time the ice would break, everybody would laugh harder. And then finally, he kind of got out and pulled her out. I don't even know. We're 11 years old. I don't even know what happened. And he pulled her out. And then we were like, oh my God, are you okay? And she was, shaking and shivering and terrified. And then we walked all the way back to our house, which was probably a mile. And then I just remember going to my room and being like, here, let me get you warm clothes. And she changed and everything. And then we all kind of chuckled it off. This haunted me for years. We were in 6th grade. We didn't keep talking about it. It's not like the next day I called her and was like, that was horrible. Like I was too young, but when I first got Facebook, which was, how old was I? It was 19 years ago, because Mason was like 1 year old, Lori, when you got me to get Facebook. She is one of the people that I friended first. And that was like the second it dawned on me, like, I can reach out to people. And I messaged her 19
Oh my
years
God.
ago. And I was like, I think more often than you would ever believe about how you fell through the ice and we all laughed. And I feel so terrible. I wrote everything that I should have said, then. And she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you ever even think of that. It was so nothing. It was a pond." Like, she totally dismissed it and like let me off the hook, but it felt a little better to say something. But can you even believe that? It was like one of those moments, and I haven't gotten
How
caught
many
up
time?
in
Wait, how much time?
how much time what?
Between when you reached out and how many years? Like,
Well,
how old
Mason
were you
was
there?
1.
I was
and
in
he's
6th grade. I was
18,
11.
19 now.
No. I mean, from when it happened.
Yeah,
So
she was
1980,
11.
1988 to
So
2006.
20 years later, like 20 years later.
18 years later. Yeah.
Okay, so 20 years
reached out.
later,
And I,
you reached out after it happened.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we were friends all through high school. She went to a different school, but like we hung out
Right.
many times through high school.
That
It's
wasn't
not like
the
I never
final
saw her again.
impression.
But no. And I just never saw her again after high school. But now, I'm social media friends with her and whatever. It haunted me because I think it's the only peer pressure situation I found myself in when I knew I was reacting the inappropriate way and it was wrong. And I just went with it. And like it haunted me for years. I was such a goody two shoes. I never found myself in any other bad situations. Like, this is the worst it was, and she was fine. And it's not like I made her do it or anything. But
Let me
I
ask
came
you this.
across that.
Mhm. Go ahead.
No, I came across it and I'm like, that's all I wrote. Then we went back to my house and I gave them clothes to borrow.
That's
When
what the
it
journal is
haunted me
like.
for 20 years. Like, it's
Because you would probably shut down. You didn't want to go back and explore it because it was a point of shame. My question is, you didn't know what to do because, oh my God, they shouldn't have teased her and coaxed her out there and she shouldn't have been on there. It's not about the situation shouldn't have happened. And of course, people find themselves in kids find themselves in all kinds of stupid situations. You have a regret and you think about it. What do you think would have been the better thing to do, or that you wish you had now? You wish you had risen above the peer pressure and said, do not go out there. What if you could have and they wouldn't have listened? I mean, this wasn't all on you.
That's different. I think,
But I was a complicit bystander.
Yeah.
I laughed along. And
do you feel
I
like
can't.
in the moment that she was walking out, like, do you think that thing inside of you was screaming, like, don't tell, she shouldn't go out there? Like,
Yeah.
do you have
Oh,
that
you
memory?
were, but you didn't want to say anything.
Yes.
Because
And I was like, I think I remember saying, like, it looks really thin. Like, you could see the water bubbles right under the surface.
oh no, God.
And they were like, yeah, just keep going. I think somebody was like, one of the boys was like, jump. I think that's why she fell through.
Why are boys such assholes? That is the real
There were
question.
7th grade boys. And I think one of them was like, jump. Because I remember she jumped up and went through.
No.
Why
That's what
do boys
happened.
do that? And why do women listen?
I talk to my kids about this all the time, that feeling. You know what I mean? I want them to always recognize it. And I'll be, like when they feel it, and then they get annoyed now because I'm like, if you ever, there's a moment where you're just like, this doesn't feel right. That's not the right thing to do. And, I'm like, that is your gut.
it.
You
You
have
feel,
to
you
listen
know
to
it.
it. I was like, I'm like, you need to pay attention to when you hear that or feel that, and you have to trust it every time.
Has that ever happened to them?
They don't tell me anything.
They don't tell you about that though.
So
'Cause
like
even
if they did, I wouldn't even know.
Doesn't mean, listen, I think your daughter would tell anyone to go right to hell. Like, I don't think she's going to be pressured. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
but
it's
in
a different
the moment
now.
Right.
It's a different age now. If you see something, say something. Like all these like
it's a different
quippy
time.
little,
But I'm
it's
just
a
saying, no
different
matter what
time.
you know, you can't always overcome that peer pressure. It's always not always like, I'm going to be the hero. Like, not everyone wants to be the hero. all the
I
time.
also feel like
No.
Kim probably had the ability to tap into the timeline where she drowned.
You think there's a timeline where she drowned?
First of all,
Drowned
there's a
in
That's what my
timeline.
shame is?
There's a timeline when all the different outcomes happened to all situations, right? And I feel like
Right.
sometimes you can like feel the version, she got maybe really, really cold and like couldn't keep grabbing, or I mean, it's a pond, so there isn't a current, but maybe, she goes under and then all of a sudden can't find, and that's my worst nightmare, can't find the hole where she was under.
Oh my
I mean,
God,
you could drown
stop.
in a
You could
You could
drown
drown
in
in
it?
a couple inches of water. You could drown in anything.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, it's not
Especially
like
when
Your
you're
she
limbs
was
could
falling
freeze.
underneath.
Like she's tiny. She had weighed nothing. Like
She was
you know what I mean?
tiny, and yeah, we were. I mean, 11 years old. I mean, we were
Right.
young, little. Yeah,
My God.
yeah. So that
And
is
she
my
never said
confession.
anything? Did she ever confess that she was like, I was terrified? Or was she kind of like, it was
No,
funny?
I just
it was
told you what the
fine."
conversation was. No, and we
She
never
never said
talked
anything
about it.
else.
Like we hung out in high school. It wasn't a thing. And I think she was surprised that it bothered me so much 20 years later that I would like reached out to her about it.
Because that's
And
your
she was
guilt.
like,
Yeah,
it was
that's
my
your
guilt, but also it was such a horrible feeling that I really feel like it's why I can't think of another peer pressure situation I ever found myself in.
Hey, it's Terri from Generation Artax. And listen, I love a good story. Who doesn't? If you didn't, you wouldn't bother with books, TV, movies, or even podcasts. We love listening to stories, but there's also something really powerful about writing your own. You may see yourself as a reader or a listener, and maybe you wouldn't dare call yourself a writer. But here's the truth. If you can read, you can write. If there's something you would love to write, share, or get out there, there is no better or safer place to do it than this little program I run called the New Rules Studio, or Studio for short. It's a live, virtual, real-time writing space led by certified instructors where you get to explore your own ideas, your own creativity, memories, stories without judgment or criticism. Since you're a listener of this podcast, I would like to invite you to come write with me for free. You can get the invite at territrispicio.com/writewithme. That's territrispicio.com/writewithme.
We know you've heard Generation Artax, but are you subscribed? Hit the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts. That's one less thing to worry about and one more thing to look forward to. We'd love to keep this show going, and you can help. Please rate and review. Thanks.
La 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 la.
But wait, let me ask you this. Has there ever been a time since when you were growing up where you did step in and say something? Did you ever feel like you got to avenge that?
I do. I can't think of it in a particular, but I feel like that is something I would have done. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
This is totally an aside, but like it just made me think of it. So I just find it was so shame. This is about shame and how it's like supposed to be. I think that's the lowest of all the vibrational emotions. And then it's like the very bottom, below anger, below hate, below jealousy, even though jealousy is like really low down there. Shame is like the bottom, right?
Self-hate.
Did you, I mean, I doubt that you guys would have, but like, are you aware of the plot line for K-pop Demon Hunters and why?
No, I want to watch it. Can we talk about it on another episode where I can watch it and we can actually talk about it? Because I've been meaning to watch it.
Well, I can tell you about it without telling you anything that happens. No. It's just like who they are, like what their characters are, probably what you'd read about it in like a description.
Yeah.
I won't even tell you what happens.
Yeah, Kenzie kind of told me, but yeah.
Like I love it. And we watched it again the other day because I just find it so moving because the music is amazing and it's weird like anime and it is all different styles. So this concept is that through time, and this is literally the opening sequence that explains what this is about. Through time, there is a trio of women who through song, through performance and having fans protect the world. Like the power of their song creates this layer that actually has a name, and that layer keeps the demons from coming up out of it and sucking the souls out of people. And so the girls that are in this one are the next generation of those women. But the concept of the demons is that they are demons because they have shame, and they talk about that.
Interesting.
So it's not about evil. It's about the fact, yes, that they have shame and it eats at them. So, right. And then the actual, like the head demon character, that doesn't even have a face. It's a voice that people hear in their heads when they become weak. And it's all about their own doubts and insecurities.
So it's like intrusive thoughts.
It's intrusive thoughts. Kind of. Yeah. Of like an actual being. And it's what like brings in, and your shame is what it's facing your shame and getting rid of that allows you to be freed from potentially becoming a demon. I just found that to be
interesting.
So amazing. And then the storyline
lost on kids. Do you think that's
I don't think it is because they talk about it so explicitly. What?
Or is it like a Pixar movie where some stuff is just there for the adults?
No, they literally were like, no, she's part demon. She must still have shame. Like they use that phrase.
Right. Very
And
explicit.
then they talk about the event in their life that made them feel that they are so ashamed
That's
of.
fantastic.
I
can't wait to
know.
watch.
God, I'm a demon. But it's like that's so interesting because it's not like simple. It's not like they're the bad guys. They're just bad. They're just inherently bad guys. It's like, no, they're dark because of their own.
It comes from the shadow
Which
side.
I love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I
Because
love
every
that.
every origin story of a bad character,
Yes.
when you go back, it's usually based on shame. And then you're like, oh, every bad guy is really usually someone had a problem with their mom. Typically.
Usually that is the problem.
Usually that's the
Yep.
problem.
Or their dad.
Right, right. But I'm like, I love that is the famous movie and that they watch that lesson over and over. You know, a bit of that's like getting in.
I
you
hope
know?
it does.
Yeah.
Especially for women, just because they live in the cage of that shame like forever. Laura, do you have a
Wait,
situation
are the
like
demons
that
all
where you
women?
didn't say something?
No.
No. I'm saying the K-pop women, the K-pop girls they're women.
They are.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
The K-pop.
Um,
But are the demons women? Are the demons women with the shame?
No, they're not. They're not genderized, are they?
They're both. They're mixed. They're
Okay.
they have women and men. They're just like weird faces when you get bad enough.
Okay. Did you guys even know that happened?
No, I had no. This is all news to me.
You didn't even know that
No idea
happened?
this no.
Oh my God. I can see it like
No
it was
idea.
actually yesterday. I
Then
can't
again,
believe,
I
like,
didn't know you were
then I
giving out
never even
hand
told
jobs
you
left
that
and
when
right, so.
that happened.
Well, I also feel like
Not in
you
sixth
were.
grade.
I feel like you were probably. Did you ever like like need to process things and you didn't want to talk about it? But do you know what I mean? Like at the time you were feeling shameful, so I imagine you probably didn't want to talk about it. Though I could have
Right.
imagined you
That's what
talking
I
to your
think.
mom about it, you know?
No,
I could
I
imagine
don't
you
even
talking to
know.
mom
I
about
don't
it.
even know if she knows. I don't know if we just came back and everybody changed clothes or what happened. Like, I don't even know.
That is so crazy.
Well, because if you think
I
of like
can't
a
believe you guys
moment of
didn't know that.
shame, it's usually like about a time that you were witnessing something bad or a peer pressure or you know what I mean? And then you wish you had said something. And I'm like, I can't.
I can't. And if I did, maybe it'll come to me, but I'm pretty sure I blocked it.
Right. I just feel like I would remember if there was a moment where I'm
No,
like,
I wouldn't remember because I would feel so shameful that it's buried and it's becoming a demon.
Right. Well, you would
So,
become the demon.
I would
Right.
become, I am a demon. That's all based on.
It would be you'd be consumed by it.
All right. I have a little bit of a lighter one for you. This was interestingly a year later from when Kim was writing. It's February 14th, 1989.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, right. That's the next line.
Oh, yeah, right.
It rained this morning, but by lunchtime, we were all just about ready to go. Vision at the peak of the mountain was zero. Once a skier passed you, they soon disappeared into the fog or cloud that hung over the mountain like split pea soup. I saw that Alex guy, my mom's friend, is trying to set me up with, who's 15 like me. He smiles now. It was someone, mom was in a class. She's all, my son's 15 also. And so they like
Where
made
were
us ski
we?
together.
Killington?
No. I think we might have been in Stratton, but we didn't say. He smiles now, and because of the lack of my peers, I may ask him if he'd like to share lunch with me. I'm sure I'd enjoy myself. I'm on antibiotics again. Let's skip that. That's stupid.
But you are writing like you write now. It's crazy.
89.
Like that is not a typical journal entry. That is like that is something you turn in to a contest.
Well, I was 15, so probably during sophomore year. With the actual thought of school, I began to panic. I mean, I'm perfectly happy here in Vermont, though I'd like it better if there was some nightlife. Seriously. I mean, dinner at 6 p.m., home at 8 p.m., and then bed? Who are they kidding? My evenings begin at 8.
What? When did you do anything? I don't remember you.
That's such a lie in your fantasy land.
What? Like, tell me anything you ever did at 8 p.m. when you were 15.
I don't know. If I had friends around or older siblings, or if there were teen things like there are at Killington, I mean, I could really live the vacation. Why can't I go out, go dancing? I hate just coming home. I really want to meet people, and I'm not even tan yet. Remember we would try to get tan when we were skiing? The sun had better show tomorrow, or I'm going to have to do some serious bitching. I was so salty.
wow.
I was so salty
my
because
God.
I remember thinking that, like, we'd be on vacation, I'd be like, I should be doing something. Like, what am I doing with the family having dinner? I need to be out somewhere. Like,
my
I just
God.
wanted to be out doing things. Isn't that weird?
It is weird because what?
It is, and I don't know where that came from.
I don't remember, like, you talking about that. Maybe you didn't talk about it out loud, but like, my vacations had that same vacation that I would never know. Oh, Terry's frustrated that she's not at like a teen disco right now.
Because a family vacation in our minds was just a family vacation. It
Right.
didn't need to overlap socially. You were just there with your family skiing.
Oh, I was so mad. Notice I was like, I wish I had older siblings. Like, look, my dumb two little sisters. Like, hey, I can't do anything here. I got no action going on. I got no game. They got no game.
We're dragging you down.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got that. I don't know
My
what you were doing.
favorite
You said-
line, dinner at 6, home at 8, and then bed. My evenings begin at 8. I don't know what
First
that
of all,
means.
Like school dances? Like what did you even do literally? Like a sleepover?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
guess?
What did you ever do at 8?
I mean,
Also,
I
dinner
think
at 6 and
I did go to dances and go to teen dance club. Like, I love to be out.
And
on the
they did
prowl.
start at 8.
that's a
I
good point.
know.
You know what though? There were tons of those. I went to all of them. I would go to like
Every
every
weekend.
weekend.
The
Yeah.
dances. Yeah. Oh
High
my
school
God.
dances.
I remember once there was a Del Barton dance and no one told me and I didn't know about it. This is
How is
typical.
that even possible that you couldn't know about those? Those things
I
were
didn't know.
huge.
And then someone was like calling me on the other office phone. Remember, we would take calls in there. And people were like, oh, yeah, we were at the Del Barton dance. I was like, there was a dance and no one told me. I was beside myself.
Oh my God,
I
that's
would-
very
I was-
upsetting.
Because I would miss whatever social thing has
Oh.
happened, like the news, like you're missing a
Yeah.
major event. And then I remember, like, there are times when people flake out, like you're going to get picked up. Your friend's brother has a car, they're going to pick you up. If I got ready to go out, even if it's to someone's house for like a get together, like whatever, sleepover, I don't know, even going,
true.
whatever, it wasn't a big rager. If I was dressed and I had lipstick on, which I always loved, and they canceled,
You're
on
still
me,
that way.
if I have lipstick on,
Yeah.
and I'm not going, I'm going to do something. When I was single and straight, if I had a date
I
with
was
a
just
guy,
going to
and this
say,
is like
I've heard
while
you
I-
say that in your 40s.
in my what?
In your 40s,
I what?
if you had lipstick on, you made
Yeah.
you made
Oh no,
lipstick.
listen, people flake. I'd have a date set up with a guy. This is like while I was in New York. So it's in the past like 10 years or so. And he would flake at the last minute. And I was like, how dare he? I had gotten ready. So I would go immediately on the app and match with someone. I'd be like, I'm ready to go out right now. And I'd be like, you're good. Are you free? Because I was supposed to go out and my plans change and I'm free right now. I did that once because I was like, I'm making good use of this night. I'm not wasting this night because this person is flaking out on me. So I would
Wow.
go out
You
and
never
one
like to
time,
waste lip gloss.
no. So I went out and I remember meeting up with a guy and I was like, he'll do. And I brought him home and slept with him.
Oh my God.
And that was a great
Oh.
use of that night.
Ugh.
Oh.
But it felt like to me, it was like productive. It was like, see, we made good use of the night. I never saw him again though.
Wow. Okay.
If I put
Yeah.
lipstick on, it
You know?
better be kissed off.
Oh, okay.
Different strokes for different folks. Different strokes
Yes,
for
different.
different.
I don't know what
folks.
that is.
Now the world
I
don't move
hated it.
to the beat of just one drum.
Might right for you and
What
not
might
right
be
for
right for
some.
you may not be right for some.
Are you done? I got catfished by a woman, as you know, recently. And the same
Right.
thing. I was like, oh my God. I had just curled my hair. I was like ready to go. And I've been talking to her all day for several days and we're meeting up tonight. And all of a sudden she wasn't texting back right away. And I was like, wait, you're on the train, right? Because we'd been talking up until an hour before. And then she's like, I'm going to come up to you. I'll take the 2. Like, this was as real as rain. Like, I was like, this is a real date. And then I was like, are you off the train? Like, where are you? Nothing. And I was like, I wonder what. And I was like, I've been had. This
I
person
can't believe
does
you
not
actually
exist.
got catfished. That's wild.
Like, really got
Really?
catfished.
I
And
can't
then
believe
realized-
it's only happened once.
It's just, I don't, yeah. I mean, do you know anyone else who's been catfished before?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
People
don't-
go up on dates and they'll show up and sit there and then be like, oh, they're not coming. Like, you realize
I don't know anyone who has dated like her in their adult life. So no. But I would
what?
assume it
You
happens
have
all the
friends who are
time.
dating? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You have friends who are
No,
dating.
not like you.
What does that mean?
You mean like seeking one night stands?
What does what mean?
You go, I don't have anyone who dates like
who
you.
dates
What does
that
mean?
much? Like when you were dating that much. Like I don't know anybody who dated like you ever. Do
With
you?
men or women?
Do you?
When I was dating men or women?
Men.
They were horrible.
I think no, it's just because of where I am. Like I'm just surrounded by moms in the suburbs. Like, I don't,
Right.
Okay.
for my whole adulthood, like that whole world, I know it exists, but I don't.
I actually don't hate dating is the thing. Like, I think it's an activity on its
I know
own.
it's wild that because I've never liked
You don't
it.
want to do it. You don't
I
want to do it.
remember
Most people don't want to do it.
you used to go on.
No, I can't imagine enjoying it really.
You did used to go on so many first dates because you did love the performance, right? You loved the whole,
Yes.
here's a new introduction. I'm going to tell you everything about.
One night show.
To me, that always just sounded like, ugh, to tell another person about me. Like, you know what I mean? It sounded,
It's a lot of work.
yeah, I feel like I just want to, like, before we met up, just email them, a brief. Like, can we just get that out of the way?
This is what you're walking into.
No, I get that. But it's also the dynamic. I'm not going in going, here's my soliloquy. Like, you're also trying to figure out, it's a game. It felt like a game to me. It was like, can I win? I'm a Libra. I'm like, live to charm people and I want them to like me, like, obviously. But even with women, I did enjoy the dating.
I know.
I enjoyed it even more because I was like, oh, I actually want to date these people.
Right. I didn't like giving any I guess I'm exactly this way in my friendships too, right? I didn't like giving any of my energy just towards someone that I didn't want to dedicate time to. It always, even just the time spent with the person, I felt like it violated. Like I just remember sitting on dates just being like, I don't even like that I don't like that I'm even talking to you. Like I didn't like the feeling of it. I felt it was not, I didn't like dating at all.
Not your style.
I did not like dating. Nope.
This is a perfect segue.
Ooh.
For my journal entry.
Okay.
This is still 6th grade. This is going back to October 6th of 1987. Again, now I was young for my grade. I was 10 years old. I was a month shy of 11. 10-year-olds to me are very, very young. But I was forever just seeking a long-term boyfriend. That's what I wanted.
Right.
Just long-term.
At 10?
Serial monogamist.
That's my jam.
She's a serial foreverist. She just wanted to be with one person literally forever.
Well, that's monogamy.
Yeah, I wanted to be with all the people forever. Listen to what I wrote at 10 years old. I really like Sean. He was in 7th grade. He's adorable. But if he ever dumps me, I'll pretend I don't mind. Boys hate when you get real emotional about that and when a girl is too overprotective. I mean, if he starts to like Jen, I'll act normal and just fine around him. Then I'll probably go home and cry as many tears as there are stars in the sky.
Wow, that's a lot of tears.
Wow.
Anyway, I think this could last at least until April. This is October. I'm like, maybe we can make it to April.
That's so random. Why April?
I have no idea. When he does dump me, first of all, this annoys me.
Wow.
Like, maybe
this is terrible.
Like, I know. When he does dump me, I'll write it in this journal. I mean, he won't like me until I'm 23, so he has to dump me sometime.
Wait, what? He won't like me until I'm 23?
Until April.
No, he's not going to like her that long.
Yeah, like he's not going to just
like
want to be with me forever. Yeah.
Oh, right. Up until 20.
I thought you said like until I
turn 23 years old. He won't like me.
No. I get.
Oh, but that's still a random year.
No. No, but I was like, well, maybe we can make it till April, or I'll cry as many tears as there are stars in the sky. But then flash forward to May of that year. May 15th.
Oh boy.
Can you believe all of this? I was just reading over this whole journal. I love my life. So many things have happened to me. I mean, just look, I'm in love with Sean. I have the best friends anyone could have. I have a great underlined family and just everything. Boy, it all makes me want to burst into tears. I love everything.
Wow.
So that's like,
I love everything.
Wow. That is the happiest, most self-adjusted kid. I love everything until the next year.
I am so glad he hadn't done you yet.
He had
no
no
made it to May.
Then
he made it past April, but he, spoiler, he did not make it till 23.
Wow.
But what I'm saying is, wasn't it a little while later
that
you would be gutted by shame? And you would never be happy again.
No. That happened in February. So that's in between.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he was there with us when she went through the ice. He was
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, he was one of the laughers?
We all were. That's the problem. We all were. I don't think he's thinking about that incident still, but.
Have you asked him?
Yeah.
No,
You need to ask him
Yes.
if he
Would you
remembers.
please write to him and say, do you remember
Yeah.
this happened? When you think about it, do you feel anything? You
Right.
love your life.
Yeah, I
So then
was
what happened?
in a
Then-
pretty
then
good
of course.
place by the end of 6th grade. Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, that's for another day.
Clearly.
La 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 la.
In this segment, we like to call unrelated. I have a question for my sisters. The question is, okay, this is, we don't have to get into our limiting beliefs. Just what you need to give me an exact number. If there was a genie in a bottle and they said, I can give you any amount of money in one lump sum tomorrow. And you don't have to forget taxes. Just this is what you get. What's your number?
Post-tax?
Post-tax. What is your number that you
And
want?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
It's going to happen tomorrow. I
Yeah,
have a
it's
number
gonna
that
happen
I have
popped
a
in my head
qualifying
for
question.
no reason, and I have no reason. So I don't know if this is going to be an interesting answer because why? But
Lori,
the
what are
number-
your qualifying questions?
No one will know about it, right? It's not like when you win the lottery and that gets
people
published.
going to know?
No. Why would people know?
Because when you
No,
keep it
people
in
don't
a
need to
box
know.
under your bed,
No, you don't have to factor in people knowing.
Hold on a
the
second.
banks are going to know.
I mean, people are going to know.
Like the public. No.
See, this is my problem. I don't want to wish for a lot of money because it separates you from your friends.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so then what's your number? If her
Well, I
scream-
immediately I thought in the number that popped into my head, which I think would be a bad idea, $50 million.
Okay, but you think it's a bad idea. So what is
It
the
doesn't
number?
actually mean anything. Who knows what 50 million even feels like or is? And it would actually ruin everything. It'd be like winning a lottery. So I have to go down.
okay.
So it's not 50
that's
million.
not an assumption. It wouldn't necessarily ruin everything. That's the conversation.
But if she thinks it will, then it might.
Right.
Then I'm going to drop down 10 million. 10.
Okay.
10 million's plenty. I don't need more than I don't need 50. That's a headache now.
Right. Okay.
what
this
are your
is my
qualifying
same
questions?
Oh, go ahead, Lori.
Well, mine has always been 15 million, but I factored in tax.
No, this is post-tax.
After. What do you have in your hands after? 15? Okay, fine.
I think 15 is good.
10's not good?
No, it's not. Again, it's not like these aren't. I can't imagine that, obviously. So it sounds like a good amount while still keeping me normal. I do feel so. Like, let's say if you said, all right, I have $50 million. I feel like everything in your life needs to change to like, how do I use this to make the whole world a better place? Like, I
That's
just feel
right.
like it comes
too much burden.
It's like
too
a
much burden.
with what great power
With
comes great responsibility.
Power comes great responsibility.
Right. And it's like,
You
not that
think
I don't want to
over
be
15
responsible.
million puts you in that category?
It's not like, Elon amount, but it's a lot of money.
Not even close.
I kind of like
Not
it.
that I wouldn't do anything charitable with 15 million. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of money. And it's weird because I would never want my kids to know that they have that.
Right. No, that would ruin everything.
I wouldn't want them to know I have it. I wouldn't want them to know it's coming. Might not even tell them. I maybe would want them to just find out after I die.
There's nothing good that could come of your kids knowing.
I agree.
Nothing good could come of it.
Okay, so Terri, yours is 10 million. Lori, yours is 15.
Yeah.
I think between 5 and 10, no one's expecting you to heal the world. Although if I had 20, I would love to be able to, I would like to use money to fight things. So now I'm changing my answer. 20.
See, I
want to change things.
And maybe this is part of my manifestation. I'm like, how do I do this? Like I started looking into like, how can I give it to people? Because you can't just give it to people. They get taxed on it. I know this, even though the genie gave it to me.
You have to put it through an organization or through a charity.
Yeah. Like I looked it up. So I was like, oh, I'm going to act like I have it. What can I do? And I was like, well, I can't just give Kim, all of that. I'm like, but I can, you can pay for someone's education entirely and you don't get tax on that. Right. And I was like, well, what if I want to pay off their mortgage? And he was like, you can't pay this ChatGPT. He's like, well, you can't pay off their mortgage unless you put your name on it or it looks like you're doing that. Like, so I was trying to strategically plan for my millions and how I could give it to people.
This is already a headache though.
No, I like it. It's fun because it makes it feel real.
Tangible, yes.
Right. So my number, without feeling obligation to heal the world, is 100 million.
Wow. You wouldn't feel any obligation to anybody with $100 million?
I feel like I could choose because I want to help whatever, but it's not like when you're in like a billion where you're like, oh, you need to. Well,
billion, you got to do shit.
But they
Right.
really.
What are you going to do? You literally can't spend it.
Also,
think
you can't get
billionaire,
to a
no-
billion
no-
without taking advantage of a lot of people. What?
Sorry,
Right,
what?
a billion, no bueno, no bueno. But 100 million is
No.
100 million is very far from a billion. No,
It is
it's
very
not?
But what would you
far.
do? It is very far. But what do you do with it? Like literally, like
Yeah,
what would you do
with it?
different? If you had that
I
money
would
now,
move.
you're gonna live where you live. What? What would you do?
No, it's just generational. It's just there. Everybody just goes about their business, but it's just there.
So what would you wouldn't do anything? You wouldn't do
Yeah,
anything
you're
different?
not doing anything
Yeah, of
differently?
course I would.
All right, what would you do?
Or
No, it
what's
would
the
be
thing that
invested.
changes?
It would be invest. No, I would invest it. I would find things that I did want to invest in the world. I don't know exactly what, but I would invest in things.
Okay, aside from
In-
that, what do you do for
Yeah.
you? Do you go, hey, we're gonna move out to
Not
an
just even
apartment
just you.
downtown?
No, I wouldn't move. I wanna change the carpet in my room.
Okay.
Okay, so some minor home improvements with $100 million.
Is that it?
I want to be able to go on random trips whenever I want, which is, I mean, I kind of can now, but like, and I want to do those things with other people.
Can you hire me to do more
I
things with
see.
your house?
That's true. You
Yes.
could hire Lori, but you could
Yeah.
also take people on trips, is what you're saying.
Yes.
You could be like, hey,
Yes,
we're all
yes, go
going.
do
Yeah, that would be
things.
fun.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Yeah. And you know what? If there's a tax thing when you're paying for other people's education, then fine, there's a tax thing.
No,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that's not taxed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
You could
know.
like
I
pay
would
for all
find
your
good
friends'
uses
kids'
for it,
education.
and it wouldn't just like, yeah, stuff like that. But it wouldn't,
I
but I
mean-
don't think it's an obscene amount of money. I think I can handle it.
Wow.
Well, this is an
I need
interesting
to feel-
perspective.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
need to shift.
100 million is not what I expect you to say. I thought
No.
you'd be lower. I thought 50 million and then thought this is ridiculous. I'll go with 10. So I dropped my own rate
See?
by such an astonishing amount because there's some kind of fear with too much and was
Yeah.
like, I want to change the world, but I don't want the responsibility. It's a power thing. That's
How
kind of
can
messed up.
What's wild to me is I think so. Whenever I see like TikToks about people talking about manifesting money, and they're like, "I was so successful, now I'm going to manifest, right? $100,000 a month, and now I'm going to manifest $500,000 a month." But they do it incrementally. They obviously didn't start with like, "I'm going to manifest $1 million," because it just seems ridiculous. So it's like they get
You
it, and then
don't
they
believe it.
believe it, right? And they go, and it's like, how do you already? Well, I guess you're not trying to manifest. You're talking about a genie, so maybe that's different.
No, I mean, I could imagine it, and it doesn't scare me.
It doesn't scare
Okay,
me.
that's the real question. Not the how do I get 100 million? Everyone would love to know that. But what scares you and what feels like too much? I mean, it is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
don't you
because
think?
I guess it's different, right? So this question was a genie's giving it to you. So you're right.
Well,
Why
I
not
hoped
100
it would
million?
unlock the fears. Yeah, the question would unlock the fears.
Right, because
Yeah.
otherwise, like,
Expose them, actually.
right, because like to me, you say $50 million and it like, or $100 million. It's like it's not. It's like monopoly money.
It doesn't feel real. That's
it
what I
doesn't feel
said. It
real.
feels like a random thing.
Where if you told me
Here's why
quit
it
a job
doesn't.
for $800,000 a year, I'd be like, whoa, because
Exactly.
I can imagine, like, I'm like, oh my God, I could pay all my bills. I never even have to think about it. I'm like, I'm calling the
Right.
landscaper tomorrow. But like, obviously I could do that with 100 million, but I'd be like, what
Right.
do I like?
What does that even look
wouldn't-
like?
what does it
I
look
see.
like?
You read about what people make. Okay, they made $100,000 per episode, and they're made like these actors or whatever who are younger than. I'm like, they're fine. I'd be fine with that amount of money.
I guess it's
I can
different. I'm
handle
not
it
looking
just
at it
fine.
like I wouldn't be fine with it. It's more that
You do. You sound like you'd be scared of it.
I don't feel like
It
I'd
would
be
blow
scared of
your
it.
mind.
That doesn't scare
$100
me.
million.
Look, if someone said here's $100 million post tax and no one has to know that you can only tell who you want, this isn't going to be publicly announced, like
Mhm.
I don't think I'd be like, I don't want that. See, I feel like Terri would, because I feel like you've said how working for money has driven you, and your fear is that like it might stunt you in some way, which I'm only saying that because you said that, right? Where so I'm like, but I don't feel
Because
afraid of
she's
it.
tying the effort to the money.
Right.
Well, that's my problem, though.
Right.
Tying
Right.
effort to money means I don't have endless effort.
Right. And Bashar says that should not be. Well, they all say. They
No.
all say.
No,
you
and
should
you're
not
right.
be tying effort to the money.
You should not be tying effort to money. And Lori, I have said that before because of my fear of suddenly having a thing. And it feels like when you have a ton of money like that, not that I know what it feels like, that
Mhm.
you're, instead of having like, oh, I'm in my place and I know where everything is, that having $100 million is like being dropped into a middle of a maze. And it's like, or a city.
You're like, where do I go?
Where do I go? What do I do? But you know what? I have friends who make $1 million a year or more. They eat at the same restaurants that I do. They're not visually that different. But when you break down how
Right.
much you get a month when you make $1 million in New York City, $1 million a year, get the fuck out of here with that. No one gives a shit. $1 million, you
Right.
can't even get barely a decent apartment. And I am not
Right.
making $1 million a year. So I think, okay, 50 times that seems maybe reasonable. I mean, I don't know.
Also,
It
when
just
people
feels
act
weird.
Yeah. I'm like, do I need to figure out how to embody that, like, $100
Well, hang
million?
Let's look at Kim and her
Okay.
TikTok. Okay. You were a consumer of TikTok and you would just watch it and you were like, I love this. You took it in and took it in. And then you said, I'm going to start to create content, which frankly was a shocker to me that you would want to be in front of a camera since that has not been your role mostly. You thrived there and you said, I got in a few weeks, I now have 500 followers. Now I have 1,000. If I could get 1,000, I could probably get 5,000. And you did. And so did you, Lori. Like it happened. Now that's not the same maybe as manifesting. I don't know, but it's the same thing of like, well, I could probably do that. It's a mental thing.
It is.
And I am afraid for myself that I tie it to that or that here's what I'm going to say. If I have the chance to make or earn or get $50 million, I won't say, well, now I'm not going to be inspired. Now I have to or can invite bigger goals so that my goal isn't just I want to cover and have this much money. If I have
Yeah,
50
why
million,
not just go to the biggest?
then I could go to but then it's not, I was afraid it would reduce my willingness to work on anything. I'd be uninspired. The fact
there
is,
you go.
but I don't think I would because I've never been motivated by money or I wouldn't be a writer.
I feel like I'm realizing it's the opposite. Like that if I had money, I could invest so much more time in like creative things I want to do that I just can't seem to find time for, right?
Yeah, you want to buy time.
I do. I want to buy time. 100%. That's like literally what I say in my manifestation. I'm like, I just want to, I do want, that's absolutely what I want to do. But you know, what's funny. Arden told me once, I got to find her.
Arden is an intuitive. She was an intuitive. She does readings.
Arden Ariel is a transformational coach, but though I don't know if she does that much more right now because she has a lot of other really.
She's a brilliant person from another planet. She's unlike anyone I've ever met.
No, she's actual magic.
Yeah. She's actual magic.
She told me once, she laughed and said I was not asking for nearly enough from the universe. Like she meant like,
what were you asking for? 50 million?
No, I wasn't. We weren't talking numbers, but she was talking about specifically money. She's like, you're not asking for nearly enough. Like not even from work. She meant like from the universe. She's like, when you're like, you know, saying the things that you want, like you really need to not limit yourself so much.
Yeah. Like just think of anybody getting out of college and they're like, love to make $30,000. And you're like, you could do more than that. You know, like I feel like that's the universe kind of laughing at us. Like, come on, you can do that. I can imagine being a person who has that level of money and being very comfortable and relaxed in that.
I would like that too. I actually think that I could get real comfortable. I mean, let's be real. If I had 50 million, even $12 million, I am buying myself a fat ass apartment, probably right across the street, some gorgeous condo, brand new finishings, everything. That would be an amazing upgrade and it would probably change my life. So that's an easy thing because, you know.
Although Dax Shepard always says, I wish everyone in the world could get as much money as they think would answer their problems to learn that it really doesn't.
But Terry's not saying she wants it to answer her problems.
It wouldn't. It would just love her.
Like, no, you're right.
It's
but for you, Lori, it would buy you time.
It would buy
you time.
But you don't need 50 million to buy time. If you had 5 million, you could have more time.
100%.
Okay. So then what's the point of naming 50 or 100? Is it because if I don't think big enough, I won't get anything? Like, then that's another kind of weird
I actually don't think 5 million would buy me some time.
No.
It wouldn't buy me all the time.
You wouldn't. Yeah, no.
I would still
5 million. It's not.
Yeah. In your hand. If I had 5 million in cash right now in my bank, that would be a game changer.
It would be.
I think I would do what I do.
It would be a game changer compared to what I have. But I'm saying,
I'm not going to buy an apartment.
But it wouldn't take me, let's say
it would
I
be
lived
gone.
till I'm
buy the apartment, it'd be gone.
Right. Yeah. It wouldn't take me all the way, like till I die with also the things I want to give my kids and leave my kids and like.
I know, but how come it's always people with money who tell you that life isn't that great with money? That's always the complaint.
Well, I don't think it would.
because they're the
Go
ones
ahead.
that know.
Well, I love that.
Maybe.
See, I can't find, I don't know where it is. That one TikTok of the guy who was saying, I was trying to manifest money and da, da, da. He's like, and now he's like, I got a successful business. I have more money than I could possibly spend. And he's like, he's like, and now what I'm realizing is the question that we should not be asking children what they want to be when they grow up. We should be asking children what problems do they want to solve when they grow up. And he's like, because here I am, I have money. And it's like, and now I'm just like, okay, now what? And I'm like, and all of us are just sort of like, yeah, I would love to know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right.
I would
But
love to be like, now what? I'm like,
don't you think you're an artist? You know, you guys, we all like to make things. I mean, we're here. We like to make things and do things. There are people who luck out. They create one thing, they sell it for $1 zillion, or they make a lot of money on software sales, and they maybe didn't love it, but they made a lot of money, and now they have money and they don't feel they have a purpose or a passion. Like, that's a different kind of problem that you have. I don't believe that any of us here would have that problem, because we know what we would like to spend time on. So I don't envy someone who has a ton of money.
I would want to keep doing this.
Listen, you could be the richest,
wanna
most
keep
famous
doing
person
this.
in the world. You just have a podcast. It doesn't matter. You could be Amy Poehler, you could be famous, or you could be us, and we have a podcast. That's the end goal.
We would pimp out, top of the line website, pimp it out. We'd be able to like invest.
No, but we would do lives every once in a while. Like, that looks so fun for someone who doesn't like to be on stage.
I can't believe you would do it.
I know, but I think if it's the three of us and it's just us talking, like, that's easy. That's easy. I'm not performing.
I would have a wardrobe of glasses, all up to date with my most recent prescription, all of them. I'd have like 5 to choose from. 10.
Yeah. I would really have to do an overhaul clothes wise, because I
think that you should hire a stylist when you have your
100%. I would need a stylist,
because you don't know what you're doing.
I do not know what I'm doing.
She doesn't know what she's doing. Lori
I am
has underwear from 20 years ago. Lori has underwear from literally 20 years ago. She needs.
I don't have underwear from 20 years ago, but I do have sports bras that I do wear from 20 years ago, where I was
crazy.
I was pregnant with Kenzie, who's about to be 18, and I wear them. I wore it this week.
Why? They don't have any elastic anymore. The whole
It does have elastic still.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
I know a bra specialist, okay, expert in bras. She says, you wear a bra, really, if it's a good bra, and how much time do you get out of it? 1 year.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I agree. But 5 years with a bra.
I don't even think that's crazy.
5 years. I really would love Lori to get a total overhaul and find a stylist to find something that she loves, that she's comfortable in, without work. She's always stressed out about what to wear.
I hate my clothes, and I hate everything on me.
She always hates her clothes.
I hate all my bras so much, and I just don't understand what a good bra is supposed to even be like, or like, I don't know. But yeah, I would need an overhaul, but I don't sit around thinking about how much I wish I had better clothes. That's only something where if I had so much money that I'm like, well, I've always hated my clothes. I should I'm going to go ahead and do something about that now. But it's like, now, if I were to spend money on clothes, I'd be like,
I'm not like,
and I want it to be quality. I'm like, great, I'll buy one sweater.
Well, Lori, you don't value it. And that's not that you should. You don't see the value. You don't want to spend money on it. And it's not like there's any real reason to do it, because you don't love it. Like, I love it. I love clothes. I think they're so fun. But I get it that you're like, well, why would I spend money on it? Like, there's a million other things you'd rather spend money on.
But I would like to have it. It's just the money I have, that's not where I want to allocate it. But if I had $50 million, I would absolutely spend on that. But I also wouldn't move, but I would buy an additional, on the beach. I would want a beach house on the beach, and a big, pretty one. Yeah. But I want Gordy to be able to fish from the house.
I love that. That's a great vision to have.
But yeah. And I said that when we were biking
I don't want
through
another house.
What?
I don't know what I'm going to do with my $100 million, because I don't want another house, and I don't really care to buy more clothes, and I don't care about shoes or cars or bags.
Yeah, maybe.
How boring.
I know the person here who's like, I want 100 million, has nothing.
She has nothing to spend on. Meanwhile, I'm like, if I have 100 million, I got a list. I do
have a list.
I do have a list of things. It's not even that much, but I'm just like, oh, I
just want to do stuff. I want to go do stuff.
Well, yeah, you're an experienced person. I get that.
But there's a lot of good stuff to do. And if you want to do it, do it right? Would you get the best hotel room, what are they called? The penthouse?
No. No,
she
because
doesn't
anywhere
have
you
rich
go,
taste. She doesn't have rich taste.
no, I don't have rich taste. And anywhere you're going, you're not really going for the hotel. You're going to do the thing. So the hotel, I don't care about as much.
Sometimes a really cool hotel room is really fun, though.
Okay, I'll go to some nice hotels.
You know what I want with my Philly?
We can do
50
that on
million?
tour.
I want a car in the garage next to my building.
Would
So
you
I
want
could
a
just-
car?
I don't
Yes.
want to worry about a car, but every time I feel like,
Yeah.
you just be like, I'm going to drive up here. I'm going to do this. I would like to have a car. I have zero interest in managing a car because the money and the cost. If I have $50 million, I'm going to have a car in the basement. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
That
drive
makes
around the
sense.
city in it. It's more like
No.
I would take it to, I would visit more people more often. I'm going to need a bigger place because I'm going to have some shoes. I'm going to have a whole closet full of sneakers. I'm going to have,
You would spend a lot.
I'm the most spendy of
You
the
should definitely
three
get
of
more than
us.
5 million.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
need
would
50.
spend the most.
I
That's
would.
true.
That's
I'd
because
have
you
the
do spend the
best
most.
shit. I do spend the most.
All of our habits would just get like elevated.
That's true.
I
That's
would
true.
I would improve this house, but I wouldn't want to move. But I would improve a lot.
Yeah.
But I love this house. But like I need to add some space.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to move either.
You'd have an office.
Yeah, I need an office.
Yeah.
I want like a
I
spare
would have-
bedroom.
I would have a service that comes in and takes care of all the cat stuff. I hate dealing with like the cat litter, but I love the cats. So if I had a bigger place,
Right.
like I might have like 2 or 3 cats. I mean, I have 2 now, but one's very old.
Would love to take
it's
art
very hard.
lessons.
Or is he?
You don't need $100 million to take art lessons.
No, because I need the time.
Yeah, she needs to buy the
a lot of
time,
this-
and
a
then
lot
she
of
can take
this
the
is-
art lesson.
That's the
But a
problem.
lot of it is because she has little kids. Like in a few years, you're gonna have time.
Yeah, but
That's
I
true.
also want the 100 million now so that I can have the time
She also has a job.
when they're here.
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the thing
I mean,
is
I could wait a
the
couple of years,
trying
but like soon.
the trying to manifest. I keep hearing us say this, and it is the wrong energy. We have
Right.
heard this. You
You're
do
not
not
supposed to try.
try to do it. You
Right.
can't try. There is no try, as they say. And so you're left
No.
in this horrible position
just
of
be.
don't try, just be. And then when I try to be,
You're trying
I'm
to
like, well,
be.
You're trying to be.
You're still trying.
That's the
you,
problem.
you just change the words
You're trying
around.
to be.
when I act as if it involves spending money I don't have, and so I'm not spending money, and I'm being really good about just not. Like I'm taming this shopping itch, and by not doing it, I did kind of an accidental cleanse where I just was like, listen, I really can't be spending money, and I don't like pinchy. I don't like, well, I can't do this because I hate that. I hate people who are cheap. I hate all that stuff. But I've decided, no, I love this. I'm going to delay the purchase. I'm
You know
going
what?
to wait.
It's like when the metaphor for manifestation about how you ordered your food, you know it's coming.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
you're not spending money right now is just like not eating the bread. You're just going to keep your appetite
Oh.
because you want it to be there when the food comes, right?
Yes, I love that metaphor because I thought you were going to say you ordered the food, but the bill's going to, like, you don't have the money to pay for that food that's coming.
No,
thought
that was
that's
a
what you said.
manifestation. There was no bill at the end
No.
of that
The
metaphor.
food is coming.
How can I be smart and like not feel miserly as I not spend? I feel like
Because you're
I'm
supposed
feeling
to
like a
feel like you
nun.
don't. No, because you're supposed to feel like you already have all the stuff you want to buy. Like you already have everything you could need. And you feel very abundant in that.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
you
It's not
already
about
have
the
everything I
stuff.
need.
I have
You do.
everything I need.
I have everything I need.
Okay. So focus on that. You already have everything, not when can I buy it.
Not like I can't buy it. I can't afford it. I don't like
You
that
don't need
energy.
to. Yeah. You don't. If you just went on a huge shopping spree and someone gave you $1 million, you wouldn't then the next day be like, oh, when can I buy this? No, you already have everything.
Okay, can we,
You
So
have
you
everything you
just-
could want.
can we break that down more? Because I'm just not really understanding exactly that. You're supposed to. I already have everything I need, right? Everything I actually
Yep.
need. Everything else is just fluff, right? I got that.
Yeah.
But when you say you already have, like the clothes, you already have it. This is where it gets weird to me, like because
I know.
she doesn't
I know what I
have
want.
the shirt.
I don't have the
She
black
does
leather
not
jacket
actually
that I
have
want.
those jeans. Is she supposed to pretend that she's
But
wearing
you
them right
do
now?
have. It's not like you don't have a closet full of clothes. You do have a huge closet full of clothes. And if you go in there, you can always find something to wear.
But how
Always.
are you manifesting her new jeans by being like, just be grateful with the jeans you already have? Do you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
seem unrelated. She already has gratitude for her clothes. She loves her clothes. So she's trying to manifest new jeans, right? And it's like, so are you supposed to feel grateful?
I just feel bad.
Or are you supposed to feel grateful for the fact that you have those jeans and you're just kind of pretending you have them?
Well, because I'm very grateful that for the clothes I have. And
Right.
then if I want this other pair of jeans, I go, Jesus, what are you doing? You don't need other jeans. What is wrong with you? And then I hate myself for wanting it.
And then you shame yourself.
Then I'm a
Then you become
demon.
You're a
I'm
demon.
top demon.
And then Kim will be like, no, the jeans are already in your drawer. And you're like, okay.
You already
Sure.
have them.
It's just logically, it's very hard for me.
It is hard.
It's hard.
Because we are living in a 3-dimensional world and we don't know how to understand.
I
these
know,
things.
and it's going to be so
Right.
annoying when we die, and it's going to be like so easy.
Like, oh, it's so simple. All you had to do was this thing.
The
and it
earth is an
became-
escape room.
Yeah, I hate escape
That's it.
rooms.
Actually, it's funny.
escape rooms.
I've never been in one.
I don't like anything about an escape room. There's no logic.
Oh my God.
There's no
hate
starting.
it.
There is no starting clue. You look around and you might find
There's
clue
no
number
rules,
6.
There's no.
And I'm like,
I hate this.
doesn't it? They feed into each
No.
other, and like, how
No.
are you supposed to
No,
know?
I hate
No.
it.
I
I don't
just
like
go
riddles.
No, I'm
just go
terrible
limp.
at riddles.
Yeah. Well, I did.
As a literal person, riddles are
No, I hate
almost
'em.
impossible.
Like, just tell me. Just tell me the answers. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
enough.
All right. That's enough.
That's enough.
This episode of Generation Artax was produced by us, edited by us, and hosted by us. Our theme music is by Danielle Musto. Art and design by Ryan Andrews of ryanmade.com. Please follow, rate, and review to help save more Gen Xers from the swamps of sadness. Follow us on Instagram at Generation Artax, that's ARTAX, and visit us at generationartax.com.